All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. This is Samuel Torna. I am from Three Gorillas. Obviously, this is my channel, Three Gorillas, and this is session 0 of Rumble in Republic City because I love Avatar and I love Rumble in the Bronx. So yeah, why don't we get started? I think at least two of you are pretty new to Fate, right?
Yeah, I only played that one game, so.
Yeah.
A handful, but it's all been accelerated.
It's basic premise is still kind of there. It's still very aspect heavy, very narrative heavy. It's just core has a bit more crunch to it, which is why I prefer it. You know, I like a little bit of crunch in my game. There you go. You actually got the book. I need to. I got all the Dresden Files books. The RPG one. That's where I get all my Fate rules from.
Those are next on the list.
I was lucky. My wife got them for me for my birthday and for Christmas, so it was the best presents. All right. So this is an Avatar: The Last Airbender, kind of more like Legend of Korra game. It's set in Republic City. The main premise I want you guys to all go off with is the fact that you are upstart gangsters, probably in a gang of your own. You guys will name it, and you formed kind of like during the wreckage of. I'm assuming you've all seen Legend of Korra. Yeah, Baron.
Somewhat.
I said a few episodes.
Okay. Well, in the last season, sorry if I'm spoiling this, guys, but you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to spoil it. The city, Republic City, gets wrecked, and basically at the end, the Avatar leaves to the spirit world to do whatever she's doing there. So I'm setting this 6 months after that. You guys, she hasn't come back yet. The city is in the middle of reconstruction, so it is ripe for the picking for new organizations to get started and do good, or in your case, bad, right? So I won't tell you what the score is. I want to reveal that during the game. I just want you guys to know that I will throw that hook out there in the beginning of the session, so you guys can just run with that at that point. But yeah, that's you guys are looking for a big score to make it into the big leagues and shove out the triads and all the other big gangs. That's just peripheral. As for your characters, that's what we're really in here for today. So I'm pretty sure the three of you have pretty solid character concepts based on our Facebook chats. Do any of you have any? Did you print out any character sheets, or if it's okay if you just want to use a paper, like a blank sheet of paper, it's totally okay.
Yeah, I didn't have the resources to print one, so I'll be on a blank sheet of paper.
That's totally cool. I usually make my characters on an index card, so don't worry about it. Okay. So, a couple things about Fate. If you're doing it on a blank sheet of paper or whatever, you're gonna need on one section of your paper. You're gonna need to do like from highest down to lowest. Basically, put +4, +3, +2, and +1, and that'll be for your skills. And oh shoot, it would probably be helpful if I linked the skill sheet to you guys, huh? I was gonna have a printout, well, like a Google Doc with like the set rules because I was working on that, but this illness kind of like sideswiped me, so it's not done. But I'll have it to you guys before the session 1. So sorry about that.
Excuses.
Excuse that. Can't help it, man. Let's see here.
The reality is that it takes a while. Once you get used to it, it gets faster. But like, I'll be honest, it messes with me all the time.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've done any of it.
Yeah. What, the character creation?
Creation, but then you also talk about like setting stuff up like that.
Oh yeah. Like setting stuff up ahead of time. Stuff that every DM says they're gonna do, but like 50% of the time it doesn't happen.
I've been working on I don't know what you want to call it, kind of a pirate pally mix for a thunder, like a thunder and lightning character.
Oh yeah.
I'm still I've been playing with it for weeks.
Let's see here. Just gotta go into my Google Docs. Gorillas. Damn yeah. Here we go. I think I might just screen share this instead of trying to get all your emails. Okay, let's try this. Screen share. There we go. Share.
I guess I could just go get the book out of the car, couldn't I?
All right. So, can you guys all see that?
Yep.
All right. So those are all the skills. The way it works in Fate is I'm going to give you a certain amount of skill points, and you can purchase these and place them anywhere on that skill ladder I explained to you. So if you want, let's say, unarmed as a +4. Sorry about that. That's just my child. If you want unarmed as a +4, you can just put it there, and it'll reduce your total skill points by 4. Right? And the only other important thing to remember in skill points is you can never have more in one skill, more in one skill level than you do in the skill level below it. So you can't have more 4s than you have 3s. You know what I'm saying? You can either make a pyramid or a tower.
How many points we got?
I'm going to set you guys up at 25 just to make this make you guys a little bit competent. So some of the important ones here to remember are endurance is going to affect your physical health. So that'll be like your hit points. So the higher that is, the more hit points you're going to have. Let's see. Presence is going to be for your social hit points. And yeah, those will be the two. The social hit points is mainly going to be for reputation and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to come into play a whole lot in this one shot, but it's still going to be there because for long campaigns, I kind of think it's important to have reputation be a factor.
I have a quick question. Whenever we use her bending abilities, what skill does that fall on?
Okay. So, but the way I'm going to do the bending abilities is, like I said before, your high concept set will say what kind of bender you are, right, in the description somehow. And that'll mean that you can just, like, let's say you are the, I don't know, baddest firebending gangster in Republic City is your high concept. So that'll mean that you can do any kind of firebending. You could just tell me you use any one of these skills that you think might be applicable. So in most cases in a fight, it'll be like unarmed because that's what you normally see. But you could also use weapons because you don't see it a whole lot in Legend of Korra, but in the original Avatar series, you could use your weapons also to your bending. But you could do all kinds of stuff like I could say that you break if you're a firebender.
Here's what I want to throw out there real quick.
What's up?
Okay, how about if I'm this old woman that's a wash lady?
Uh-huh.
And I use some kind of utensils that I wash clothes with. And I've basically decided I'm tired of taking orders from people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay. Just a crotchety old lady who's just tired of being everyone's like step stool. I dig that.
I mean, I'm not necessarily like old, but like
yeah, just someone.
Anybody that's a bender it looks like to some degree or another, martial arts no matter one way or the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's part of your because basically they do katas when they do their maneuvers.
Yes. And also, since this is more, you're in Republic City, you can describe the martial arts you use as a little bit more modern too. Like that's kind of a thing in Legend of Korra. But so does that mean you're going to be a waterbender, Chuck?
Yeah, I remember I said that a long time ago.
Yeah. It's been a little while. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason
Everybody else wanted fire and earth, so I figured I'd be water.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm going to kind of play her like wise.
Okay. What's up, Jose?
I was going to say, the reason I was asking about that is, one, we got different type of bending, and second, since I was going earthbender, I didn't know if you wanted me to use, like, might or something like that.
You can't. I think it's going to be situational. So, like, if you want to do just I shoot a rock at him, with, like, a kick, that's just, like, unarmed. But if you're just, like, I want to lift a pillar of rock that sends him 50 feet in the air, that's might,
Okay, yeah, that's why I was asking, because I plan on doing a lot of, like, earth-burning crap, so...
Yeah, like a firebender could probably use burglary to melt a lock,
Oh, shit, that's pretty neat.
Just basically, it'll be however you can sell it. Some of them aren't applicable. I don't think you could use academics with firebending, but, whatever. Yeah. If you can... Crafting is probably big for
wait.
Earth.
Can I do an exercise and something real quick?
What's that?
Okay. Well, fire kind of not so hard, but I could see it for me. I have academics.
Yeah.
I know where your heart is in your body, and I can stop the fluid flowing in it.
Okay, yeah, that academics would probably be.
Sorry, you just gave me a challenge. I had to do that.
No, it's totally cool. It's because obviously everything you guys do can be withstood. So attempted to be withstood. So yeah, that could definitely play as a factor in it. I would let me think. Yeah, academics, definitely. I can see that. That would basically be like your form of blood bending if you want to try that. The other way to go in, I don't think you guys can see that. I have one more down there. It's will. But actually I think based on the context here, we might not need that. I think I got everything else covered. Because no one's going to be doing any soul bending. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. What's that?
So what exactly is soul bending?
Oh, it's at the end of the first series of Avatar. It's how he took out Lord Ozai. He basically...
he froze him and shit?
Yeah, well, yeah, basically he trapped him and then he soul bended him so he couldn't bend anymore. But yeah, you could totally use academics to try to mess with people's blood. If you guys were non-benders, you could use academics for chi blocking.
Even though I don't know if that fits in my concept, you gave me a challenge. I had to prove you wrong.
No, I mean, yeah, not for firebending so much, maybe.
Yeah, I was looking at the sheet, and you said we got 25 points, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that we get 2 4s, or where do we get the extra one? Because I see 1 2. I see 2 like 3s, 3 2s, and then 4.
Oh, you're using the fate sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. The fate sheet is very standard, because most Fate core games kind of just run on that straight pyramid. But you could just add to them as long as you don't break the cardinal rule of more of one than the one below it.
Good.
Yeah. So I think in your case you could do 2 of everything and then have a little bit extra for 1s and 2s. If that's what you wanted to do. Or you could just do a pyramid and get a shit ton of extra stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have any questions about the skills on the sheets or anything like that?
At the moment, I'm just looking at what I think my character will have. Like right now, I have might. I'm probably gonna give him like survival and endurance because he's supposed to be hardy and stuff. So
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah, because you're going for the Earthbender, right?
yeah. I pretty much want him to like Earthbend and Metal Bend. So since I saw that thing and it shows that there's Magnet in there, I'll probably add that too. But I figured you're supposed to be like hardy if you're doing this shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Shoot, I'm like sweating bullets over here. I'm in the one part of my house where the air conditioner doesn't circulate very well. And I got like a little bit of a fever, so yep.
Shit, that's not good.
You know, shit happens. I should be all good for session 1 though. So, how you guys doing with skills? Oh, good on Baron.
Suppose I could share mine. +4, I took ranged and endurance.
Okay.
+3, investigation and unarmed. +2, survival, might, and presence. And +1, lore, athletics, academics, burglary, and stealth.
Nice. Okay. I like that you took range, so you're gonna be a long range fire.
I'm a gunner, man.
Nice. Good idea. Hey, you guys actually, at least the 3 of you can make a bending team.
I mean, realistically, anytime that Jose does something with metal, I can just make it really hot.
Yeah, yeah. I love the idea that Chuck threw out there about like combining your bending to do team attacks. That's fantastic, and that's kind of like done by creating advantages. That's the system you use in Fate for it. Create advantage. That's brutal, man. I love it. Like, what was it? I think in season 4, Kuvira like would put like steel or use her metal bending to put steel manacles on people's wrists and then just magnetize them to put them on a railroad track and use that as an intimidation tactic for when the train's coming. So I think that's pretty sick.
That's brutal.
Yeah. So yeah, creativity in your bending will be super useful because I will not be pulling punches. You're dealing with gangsters. I do not want this to be rated G. So no worries.
Question about that.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to like crush people or?
Yeah, totally.
Crush
Just
people?
remember. I guess you haven't seen a whole bunch of episodes, but there is a police force, and they are not to be fucked with. They are straight, almost entirely metal benders, and
I gotcha. So performance, how would I use that? Like, is that or perform whatever that skill is?
I mean, if you were like a street performer.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if it would do anything I have. So, all right.
I wouldn't even call it street performer. I would call it lying.
I thought that's deceive.
Well, there's the deception. Yeah, there's deceive.
Okay, but I mean lying in a bigger way. Like,
Lying about everything.
well, deceive I consider a lie. Performance is like, okay, I'm going to dress up and look like I'm one of the police agents. I'd call that more of a performance than it is.
I think my guy wouldn't be that.
Or a combination.
Sam, you're in the Fate core book.
He fell out. He'll be back in a second.
Okay. Yeah, that's good because I need to finish doing my schedule. So far, I just got Might, Endurance, Survival, and DC. And I definitely can't wait for this game.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a good one.
Let me see. I think I have a Fate PDF. Let's see if I can find it.
I need to get editable Fate character sheets. Sam, come back.
So yeah, the way I see my character, he's pretty much like the muscle.
Yeah, I feel like I'm similar in because like the way I want this guy to be is he's just like all just raw force,
Yeah,
not
for real.
necessarily like physically, but like I'm gonna hit something as hard as I can.
I can't wait for us to do some like crazy combinations because like one thing I was thinking, since it's water, I can take metal and make like a metal pot where they're inside of it, and then I'll be like, have fun, and he can fill it with water, and then we can like, taunt the people, be like, look, if you don't do what we want or give us information, you can start like boiling the shit.
Jesus, yeah, truly. Hit someone with like an iron rod and electrocute them.
That would be crazy.
We could use our powers for good, like creating hydroelectric energy, but
The one thing I can't wait is to see who ends up being like the leader of the group, because I definitely don't want to do that. My character's more like the follower type. Like, he don't mind getting his hands dirty, but
right. So I'm taking a step ahead here and got my high concept is just firebender. I'm sure Sam will address that here in a minute.
Hey, there we go.
Welcome back.
So I didn't know Google, YouTube maintains the stream if I lose connection. That's pretty nifty. So cool. Yeah, what's up?
I think we're good on skills.
Yeah, okay.
I believe
Actually,
Jose.
I need to see the cheat real quick. I'm sorry.
Oh, you need to see it again? Sure thing. Let me just screen share. What were you going to say, Baron?
I was just making sure Jose was caught up.
And you said that pretty much whenever we did bending, it would be like might or endurance, and I mean not endurance, unarmed and stuff, right?
Yeah, it basically, depending on what you're trying to do, it could be a different skill each time. As an earthbender, crafting might be something that's right up your alley.
Yeah, I'll probably be doing a lot of stuff like that. So
yeah,
put that up here.
if you were into the whole tremor sense thing, notice. Yeah, you could just notice via your.
Oh, like steps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And which one was that one? You said
That would be
notice?
a notice skill, but tremor sense is not one of the standard applications, so you would need a stunt to use it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, I'm gonna keep it like the only thing that your high concept grants you is just the ability to use flame, the ability to use earth, water, or wind. If you want to go, I mean, water can do ice and snow and shit like that, but that's just different forms of water. Uh, but if you want to get crazy, those require stunts, lightning, lava, blood. That all requires the expenditure of refresh, which we will get into in a moment. Why don't we go? Is everyone set for skills then?
Si, senor.
One more second, I'm almost done.
All right, all right. Well, while he's working on that, the rest of you guys can start thinking about your aspects.
What is
Uh,
rapport?
What is which one? Rapport.
Yeah, rapport.
That's kind of like your speaking ability. It's kind of like how well you can, talk to people, convince people of things. That thing, just how eloquent you are and how good you are at using words.
So how would I tell if somebody is lying to me?
That would be empathy. hmm And there's a difference between presence and rapport. Like I said, rapport is how well you use your words. Presence is kind of like it's a passive skill, and it is how people perceive you. So if you have a high presence, you could if you want to be like I'm a take charge kind of guy. Like people could see that in you right off the bat. You know.
I gotcha. Well, I think I just said my actions, do that. Let's see.
Okay. So and yeah, like I was gonna say, you guys can start thinking about your aspects. Um, Basically, you're gonna have a high concept, a trouble, and a couple of regular aspects. These are Fate's way of adding a mechanic to your character's life and personality, basically. So, like, your high concept is your character's like a sentence or like a short phrase that would describe your character in a very general way, or a very specific way if you have a very specific mindset, like Zuko from Avatar. His high concept would be like, I will capture the Avatar. That was his whole thing for like the first 3 seasons. So that kind of stuff. I just ask that you involve your
Lifetime
bending.
with water.
What's that?
Lifetime with water. I've been washing clothes my whole life.
Lifetime of water. Okay. Yeah. I can dig that. So yeah, that would, if as a high concept, that would kind of mean that like your character, and you're going for a wise kind of thing. So like your characters definitely have that mindset of like, water pervades most of your ways of thinking about the world and life in general. So I think you mentioned something you wanted to do something like that too. So I like that. And yeah, what's the question?
What now?
I think Baron wanted to ask a question.
I'm stuck at this moment, but I don't have a question on it.
Okay. Trouble would be the second thing, and that is literally something that haunts you or persists. It's basically the thing that gives you real issue on a regular basis.
I'm tired of being talked down to. Was mine.
Tired of being talked down to. Okay, so then I would use that against you. So people would naturally talk down to you in most cases, and you can, yeah, you could use that to get angry, probably. Yeah, tired of being talked down to. Won't take it no more. That kind of thing. Oh, I can see your character like snapping if someone's like looking down their nose at you.
Yep.
That'd be hardcore. You don't want to mess with a waterbender. Oh, excuse me.
So I do have a question about skill real quick. Lore. Can I take that and be like, okay, I know a lot of lore about waterbenders, like things that they can do and stuff?
Yeah, like martial arts lore and just like in general, what's the word? Oral histories and stuff like that. Yeah, lore would
but
be
also
those.
like moves that may be forgotten.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Like this is the ancient technique of waterbenders, blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell it, man, for sure. Is your character a native water tribe, or is she born in Republic City?
Born in Republic City.
Okay. Cool.
I see Water Tribe as more strong-willed. Like they'd be harder to put her in the position she's in now.
Yeah, they're definitely more tribal, so they wouldn't treat their probably wouldn't treat their elders like that.
Yeah, that'd probably fit better for somebody that was younger that was coming there and had kind of that attitude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Republic City is about, I would say, 60 years old, so or maybe more than that at this point. So it's definitely enough time for all of you to have been born here if you wanted. Also, Republic City is the most advanced city in the world. Other places have things, but like you're probably not gonna find cars in every city and stuff like that. So if you were born in a different town or village or city, it doesn't compare.
Okay, so basically everybody's high concept is kind of already picked to some degree, right? Is that really that big of an issue for everybody to?
Well, let's find out. What do you think, Jose?
No, I don't mean by them. I mean by you. Basically, you said our hard concepts are bending.
Well, no, they have to include the bending, not that they are the bending.
Okay.
Yeah. Like in your case, it kind of pervades that, which is good.
I was just going to try to push them to, like, what's your character concept or where you're going with it? Maybe we could.
Yeah, no, we could definitely ask what.
Mine as of right now is Outcast Marksman.
Outcast Marksman? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't put one yet for my guy, but pretty much he didn't come from Republic City. He just came in there to earn some money and get somewhere. But he came from a family of metal benders, so I ended up changing his crafting with unarmed, so that way he's more crafty.
Okay.
So
cool.
But I mean, whatever I do, I just want to do something where pretty much whoever's in the gang, like he'll bond with somebody, or he'll just like he's part of the gang. He's more worried about what everybody else than what happened.
Nice. Okay.
So Baron, how about like best shot with the flame?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Sorry, Jose. I had that idea in my head. All I caught was you come from a community and you're an earthbender. What the crafty thing? Where were you going with that?
Pretty much, he came from a tribe that they focus on metal bending, so they like passed it on. So he's really good at that, and pretty much is good at crafting. So he went to Republic City to pretty much hone his craft, but ended up finding out that he wasn't gonna get nowhere. So that's why he joined the gang. He just did what he had to do.
Okay.
But one thing that I was thinking about, since I put like might and endurance as my top things, maybe one of my aspects is like hard as a rock or some stupid shit like that.
Okay. Yeah,
I swear, hangouts. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. I like that. That could definitely be one of your aspects, Jose. How about for your high concept? Maybe it's something like something that has to do with the fact that like Earth, I don't know, something about just trying to make a living, kind of thing.
What did I miss on his concept?
I can put survivor.
Yeah. His concept is that fact that like he wants to hone his craft, but when he got here, I guess it didn't pan out for him, so he decided to join a gang.
Tough as rocks.
Tough as rock. That's one of the aspects he wants to take. Actually, that could be your high concept. Yeah. That
Could
could
be
like
like-
define you. Like you could survive, kind of like you're just based on your mentality. You could survive in any kind of scenario, whether it is like destitute or as a gangster. You know.
Struggling artist.
How do you see your earthbending? I mean, like, what's your big thing? What do you?
I like what Baron just said. Struggling artist. That's a good one too.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually.
Like struggling earth artist. Like you just want to make art, but like all you can really do is gangster stuff. That's amazing. I like that.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Oh shoot. Okay, cool. Is anyone having issues with their troubles? I know that you got yours, Chuck.
That's like the easiest one for me.
Oh yeah, for both of you, I think you and Jose. Like you both killed a guy, right? Like
Well,
That I wouldn't say is like the biggest problem in my life.
okay. Well, what are you thinking?
My character's name overall is Cormac Wrathsteel. The Wrathsteel family made a lot of money dealing with weapons trade, dating back to, the Fire Nation invading. So
Nice.
our whole family history is fucking full of skeletons and ghosts.
Nice.
So as soon as someone recognizes my name or face, it's up to them to be good or bad. But I have a reputation that precedes me through my family.
Nice. All right, and that would be okay. I like that a lot. Someone spots you and they're just like, well, "Holy shit, is that?" Yeah, I dig that.
Like, I recognize those fucking cheekbones anywhere.
Yeah. And then they could just be like, "Your freaking family is the reason my grandpappy died in the war." Shit like that. Oh, I dig that.
So, Charles, so you were asking, the way that I see his bending is pretty much is brutal, but at the same time, it's like finesse, like crafted. Like 1 second he can just put a wall up, crush somebody against it, or 1 second he could make some kind of construction happen. Pretty much pretty much is wild with it.
Is it like an instinctual kind of thing? He just
I would say.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, to
More
me,
primal than anything.
that's like how art is. It's fucking natural. You don't just.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds pretty.
Yeah. I like the idea of like if you do a heist, you always leave like a calling card, like just this art sculpture, or just like in general. Like,
The cops are pissed, but man, this is really good.
yeah, it's like, was this statue always here? Oh my! Like, I guess we could leave that, but I mean,
It's like in the middle of a bank.
yeah, you just leave Art Deco wherever you go.
We should be mad, but I mean, he's doing the community a favor.
I love it. Okay, and you could have anywhere up to 5 aspects below that are just kind of generic, or basically generic ones would be aspects of your personality or history that are important. So things like hot-headed, or usually turn the other cheek, stuff like that. Just simple descriptors, or they can also be connections between each other, so you guys can help each other as a group, that kind of thing.
Jose, we're brothers in blood, man. We killed a guy.
Yeah, and I turned the other cheek to help you hide it.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you guys just figure out what to name that. Brothers in Blood is a good one. I like that.
I already named that. That's getting named.
I have a think of word.
You like muted yourself mid-sentence, brother.
Oh, my bad. I was saying, what would one be where he pretty much sees his gang as like a family?
Oh yeah, definitely. The gang is like family to me, or like not all family is blood, stuff like that.
Thick as thieves.
Thick as thieves. That's a good one. Nice. Baron's got this shit down, man.
With that being said, my character was trained by a waterbender.
Nice. Yeah. Which leads you to lightning bending, right?
Yeah, that fluid And I want to say that it actually aids me in like ranged as well. It was like a detachment exercise.
Yeah, no, I dig that.
So I'm just kind of thinking of how I want to phrase that. Maybe like trained by the South, Southern tribe or something. Trained by the Southern tribe.
But yeah, you could go. If you do that one, then that can mean that you're also you're very acclimated in Southern tribe culture. So if you word it like that, that would be multi-purpose.
Okay.
You know?
Okay,
Because
so
the other-
are we doing
the other way-
connections to and stuff, Sam?
Yeah. Connections to
Okay,
each
so
other.
how about like who trained him as a family member to me, and then that's how he knows me?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
since
and all right, then let me just tell you my little lore story here, so we're all on the same page. So my family dealing in weapons. My father is like no bending, all money and business. My mother is like the descendant of one of the queen's aides or some shit.
Okay.
So I have like a natural firebending ability, but since all this shit has been going down, I haven't had a steady teacher. I'm very detached from my family, learning from like the crew and shit because we're sailing. Get to the water tribe. The water tribe realizes who my family is. They're like, no, you guys have brought nothing but war and shit. So they end up like imprisoning my family and I escape. Where I get brought in by some sort of, Mr. Miyagi figure who wants to, help me learn to control the, explosive power of my firebending. Teach me to not be afraid of it kind of thing. So he uses waterbending techniques to teach me how to firebend. And basically, it gets to the point where I'm old enough that I can't just milk off of him for the rest of my life, so I have to go make it on my own. So maybe he dies or something.
Ooh, I like that. So maybe that's that Miyagi figure is Chuck's character's like older brother. Maybe you were tasked. Your final task as a student was to bring the news to his sister in Republic City.
Damn, yeah, that's pretty raw. But
You
yeah,
know?
that's solid.
And then you can make up whatever
Or to
reason.
do it where he don't necessarily have such a master as we're both helping each other. He's helping me learn to release my anger, and I'm helping him to learn to.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like that obligation I feel to extend the duty of my mentor.
Oh, I like that idea that like maybe you did have that Miyagi figure and like you feel that you need to protect your master sister, and Chuck's character feels that she needs to continue your emotional training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Increase that wisdom so you don't keep blowing shit up.
Exactly.
Especially if you actually pay attention to Avatar, it's heavily based in your chakras and all that. So emotion is part of your powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why fucking Zuko gets way stronger at the end when he's pissed off.
Yeah, I just love that whole last season of Avatar. So good.
Between that last season and Iroh through the whole thing, that's probably why I like firebending so much, because Iroh is my favorite character in the whole show.
Yeah, because emotionally, Iroh's the most like put together. He's
the best character.
The best character, period, man.
There's like 4 cartoons that have ever like hurt me, and the one with his son is one of them.
Oh man,
maybe I'm forgetting that one, but who is that now?
Iroh is Zuko's
uncle.
Oh yeah, he's one of the better characters. But that's that he's reached that balance, even though he's a fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he spent time.
They don't call him the Dragon of the West for nothing.
Oh, I love that.
There was a rage there.
Especially the part when he was going to escape prison and he told the lady not to come in the next day.
That was so good. That's like a John Wick moment. That like is like where he comes up behind where John Wick comes up behind the guy and just like, "Hello, what's his name?" And he's just like, "I think you should take the night off." He's like, "Thank you, Mr. Wick." Like, like that's totally. It's like, I don't want to hurt you. You were nice to me. Okay, so we got a couple aspects there. We might make some more connections in the chat with the with the rest of the group when they have a little bit of time because they got some family stuff that came up tonight.
So let me
yeah.
just clarify. We have our high concept, our trouble, and then 3 more aspects for a total of 5.
3 to 5, yeah, 3 to 5 more experts. It's
Okay.
I don't suggest having an extra 5. That's a bit
Gotcha.
much to me. You
No,
know.
yeah. I'm actually just gonna leave it at 2 right now.
Yeah, totally acceptable.
How many are we getting? Refresh plus aspects.
You don't add them together, but you like. I think you're just asking me how much refresh you get.
Well, no, I'm asking how many do I have any free aspects, or am I paying all refresh and then how much is the refresh?
Okay, your aspects don't affect your refresh. They
Yeah,
affect
they do because you buy aspects with your refresh.
No. You buy stunts and powers with your refresh.
Oh, that's right. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, what's left over of your refresh becomes fate points, which you use to add bonuses based on your aspects. So yeah, that is the next section would be refresh. Refresh is a number of that you use to buy abilities, powers, stunts, special moves, stuff like that. And basically, let's say I think I'm going to start you guys at 6 refresh, and whatever you don't use is going to be turned into fate points, which are points that you can use to basically get bonuses on things or to affect the world. So if you buy if you spend 3 refresh on powers, you only have 3 fate points. Yeah, so it's a trade-off. So there's no list of powers or anything like that. Sorry, I got a cough. There's no list of powers right now. But basically, it's gonna be anything that you can think of that. Let's say you want your character to be particularly fast. You could just say, I want to name it Fleet of Foot. It means that I get a +2 on athletic checks to run, to escape. I want to be a metal bender. You take metal bending aspect. Metal bending stunt. So mainly for you guys, it's probably going to be bending and maybe a couple other physical things or social things. Depends on how you want to. It's like the feats and character options for your character.
I want to take the blood bending, but I want to take it as we play.
You want to take it? Okay, yeah, you take it now.
I haven't learned how to do it yet.
Okay. Yeah, you could buy it now and then just like work it in subtly if you want, or just leave the points and then purchase it during the mid game. That's fine too.
Well, I definitely have lightning bending.
Okay. If you're going just like one step, so if in the case of lightning bending, it'll just be a -1 to get it, and it'll basically increase the power of your. So basically, just put like you're using a blank sheet, right? Yep. So just put somewhere on your sheet, like cost, like do a little like chart, like cost, stunt, and then description. So the cost for lightning bending will be 1, and it'll call. You could call it lightning bending if you want, and it'll give you +2 damage when you strike with lightning. So normally, damage is dealt by if you beat the guy. If your roll beats their defense by 2, they take 2 damage. But since you have +2 to damage, you do 4 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can increase that damage by increasing the cost of the lightning bending.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. Chuck, blood bending is going to be a cost of 2.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and it's a pretty broken thing. So, and but basically, it'll work. In your case, if you want it to be academics, it can be academics, and it'll be versus the characters, probably might or endurance, something like that.
That would be a will one.
That'll be will, yeah. Will could also, yeah.
Okay, so what are we? I hate to jump back, but what are we using aspects for then?
Your aspects, basically whatever fate points you have left over, right? After you purchase abilities, you can use your fate points to basically like coins in a slot machine. So like your high concept was it water life or like life of water, something like that.
Yeah.
And you could basically, if let's say you're in a fight, you could be like, way of the water. I put a fate point at the way of the water to be fluid enough to dodge attacks. You know, to just kind of like move with the rhythm, so that I'm not hit. So it'll give you a +2 to defense.
You misunderstood what I'm looking for.
What's up?
What we were just having a discussion about. Maybe I used the wrong term, but normally in the game you get 5 of them.
Yeah, aspects. Yeah.
You get your high concept and then aspects.
Yeah.
So we get 5 aspects.
Oh, okay.
Using fate points.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. They, like I said, yeah, you can get up to, your high concept. You get your high concept of trouble and up to 5 aspects. That doesn't affect the number of fate points you're going to receive, but they just kind of define your character and give you more options in the game.
Okay, I'm going to take protective.
Okay.
And then what I mean is like keep the people around me like the people that belong to me.
Yeah, totally. I could see that.
Actually, that may be a bad idea because I may be taking that away from Jose. He kind of sounded like he wanted that.
I mean, yeah, you could both be that way.
But I could do it with Baron's character. I'm protective of him.
Yeah, exactly. You could definitely see. You could say like maybe you see him like a pseudo son or something like that, or like overprotective grandma, something like that.
Yeah, I think overprotective grandma.
I like that.
I
just like
all the ties.
Yeah, I like the idea that like maybe if Baron's character gets like really beat up and like found in the street, and your character just like fucking goes on a rampage, like
angry grandma.
Yeah.
So for metal bending, what should I put for the stun?
Okay, so metal bending, basically it'll be cost 1, and it's a new material, so it'll just give you access to bending metal. So anything you could have done with earth bending, you can now do with metal bending as well. So metal inherently is just going to have stronger properties than earth. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha. And what about the magnet?
Oh, the magnetism, yeah. I can see that as an extension of your metal bending, so that's another -1. Just do magnetism, so now you can make any metal magnetic or ferrous, which is pretty hardcore.
Gotcha. So let's say somebody was holding a weapon and I make it magnetic, it would have them hit the metal neuron. Sure.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you could affect that. Basically you can maybe use academics or lore if you want to like manipulate north and south poles, or if you just want to do straight up like yanking, that could be might, That'd be messed up if someone has a metal armor, like you just like you magnetize it like super heavy, so like everything's flying at them.
Yeah, right. I think if that happened, I would probably use him as a puppet and make him attack somebody else.
Oh, there you go, yeah. Oh, and it's perfect because it costs the same as blood bending, so you can also try that same thing. That would definitely be defended by might. You have to fight against your magnetic powers. You're like a little mini Magneto.
That's fun.
Okay.
Because one idea I had, which I got from X-Men, is the movie where Magneto had the little like iron balls and he was like shooting them at people.
Oh yeah.
Like something like that is like if somebody's trying to run away through like a hallway or something, I could just make him ricochet against the walls and shit.
Oh shit, yeah, that's definitely hardcore. You could do that. Or you
I
could
thought
attempt
something even dirtier. I don't know if it'd work.
What's that? Like rip the iron out of the blood?
If you pulled all the iron out of their body.
That would definitely be a difficult thing to do since there's so little iron in the body and there's a lot in the way. But you could definitely attempt it. Yeah, try it. I'm pretty sure iron allows you to oxygenate your blood. So if you do that, you just kind of suffocate.
Yeah, it would kill them. There may not be a lot in there, but it
would kill them. Yeah, if you took it all out for sure.
So for aspects, could I take something to the effect of where I'm good at like multiple water whips?
Okay. So multiple. Okay, so like the octopus style kind of deal.
Yeah.
If you just want it to be, yeah, you could do that as an aspect. Maybe like name it as a style, like trained in whatever style.
Or call it water. Or call it whip it. Whip it
Whip
good.
Sure. Now, if you want to make that further more effective, like in that case, in the case of an aspect, you can use fate points to boost, multiple whips and stuff like that. But if you want to do like, grab multiple people, you can make a power that focuses on that too. If you were interested in focusing on that style.
Oh,
So you think about
really
that.
trying to hold on to 4 fate points, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
well,
know what?
that's-
I will make it a power. I'll make it multi-grab.
Multi-grab. Okay. So why don't we say that costs 1, and basically it'll allow you to grapple more than one target without any penalty. I will say up to 2 at the moment. If you wanted to grab more than one, you just increase the cost. Or you could pay a fate point in combat, and that'll just be like you straining yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, Jose, I see here that you say you need to find a trouble.
Yeah. So far, I got that my high aspect or concept struggling artist, and then aspect I got blooders, and then thick as Steve.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta get a trouble. Yeah.
So, trouble-wise, what plagues you? Maybe does your character like always find himself getting into trouble, like in general? Like you seem to run with the wrong crowd. Like, didn't you kill somebody? Like,
Well, I did with Baron.
yeah. So maybe that's what haunts you.
We will have to figure out how that actually went down, because I don't know if it was with malicious intent. Do we just kill this dude?
Maybe they caught us.
Why did I just kill this guy?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely figure that out. Like, was this outside of Republic City or inside of Republic City?
Oh, it was definitely inside of Republic City.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I could totally see that. Like,
Yeah, this was like I was getting mugged or something.
yeah, no, I could see that. Oh, all right. What if he was? Maybe that guy was the younger like brother of one of the like Triad's big top members, who was like trying to get his like gangster chops. He was sent on a mission like. It's like, if you want to be part of the gang, you got to kill somebody, kind of deal. And he just picked the wrong 2 guys.
Yeah, it was self-defense, man.
So now the Triads are like, anytime they see you guys, they will try to kill you outright.
It's the Wrathseal curse, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We just make enemies real fucking fast.
So, well, it's not triple threats. Was it the triple threats?
Should I put my trouble like wrong place, wrong time, or something like that?
Oh yeah, that would mean that you constantly
right place, wrong time.
Yeah. yeah, you can totally do that. That would kind of mean that you are constantly getting in that situation. If you want it to be,
that makes total sense.
Yeah, totally. I like that idea that like you kind of like you're tough enough to survive in almost like any situation, but like because like at least mentally, but it's because like you keep getting yourself in shitty situations.
You have like a natural higher difficulty on life.
Constantly rolling to see like
you stubbed your toe at least 6 more times than I have.
Oh yeah. It's like we're going to the town square. Oh cool. Roll me notice, just Jose. Yeah.
It's probably gonna happen a lot.
That's good though. That's fun though.
Okay, so I had another thought.
What's that?
What would you charge me for have a drink of water and basically I try to drown you by putting water in your mouth?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Get rid of blood bending and just do that is what I'm. That's what I'm saying. How much would that?
Honestly, I would say that's just a regular application of water bending. I don't think that would be.
I'm gonna drown you.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I don't think it would be necessary. You can if you want, but I don't think you need a stunt or an aspect for that. That's just kind of like a move you can do. I would probably say that's probably like might, trying to shove water into the lungs. You know.
Well, I don't have might, so that ain't gonna happen.
You could also do it unarmed. Yeah, just kind of like the essentially a throat punch, but in this case, like you're throat punching water into their lungs. Like, you know, I could see unarmed being that too.
So another quick one. In that
Mhm.
last game we played, I had the one skill where I could put an object on like people with my range. Is there any way I can do something like that with my earth or metal bending?
Put an object on people.
You know, like I can, let's say they're running away and I can put a wall in front of them, or I can like
Oh, right.
you know, like keep them in place.
Right. Yeah, you could totally do that. So those would be just you creating an obstacle with your earth bending or metal bending, however you see fit. Basically, you would roll a skill, and they would have to beat your roll to overcome your obstacle. So, like, let's say in your case, maybe you're doing unarmed to get the timing of it right. You're just like, then you make a wall, and you roll a 3 total. So if they want to, if they want to get past that wall, they have to roll higher than a 3 to get past that wall. You know what I'm saying? Or they could try to break the wall, which would also require higher than a 3. So that would just be an application of earth bending or metal bending.
Okay, so yeah, for my stun so far, I just have metal bending and magnetic. So I don't know if I should add something that gives me +2 to attributes or something.
Yeah, you could totally go around that route. Maybe you could do a stunt that gives you a +2 to creating obstacles, if that's your specialty.
Cool.
Like you give me like wall maker or whatever you want to call it. So whenever you're just making like an obstacle that's like a wall or something like that, that's your specialty.
Yeah, I would like that. How much points do I need for?
That would be -1, and it would give you a +2 for only that one specific instance of creating walls. You know.
+2, right?
Hmm?
You said +2?
Yeah, +2 to creating an obstacle / wall. So
I think that would be it for me for done. So I'll leave the 2 other points for.
nice. Okay. What about you, Baron? You got anything else on your mind, or?
Like a marksman kind of thing, like quick draw, quick accuracy.
Nice. Okay. So maybe I like quick draw. Maybe your gives you like a bonus to your initiative. So like you're usually first one to act, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so yeah. Initiative is usually determined by your notice. Is there any chance you have any notice?
Nope, no notice here.
Okay. Do you have any athletics?
I do. It's +1.
Okay. What about unarmed?
Unarmed is a +3.
Okay. How about in this case, based on your martial arts teachings, we say that instead of notice, like you name it whatever you want, but instead of notice, you used your unarmed for your initiative.
Okay.
Yeah. So your initiative will go from a 0 to a 3. Because we don't roll for initiative in Fate. You just take your number. So it's usually pretty static.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I got an idea for like latent potential, just natural affinity for making things really big and explosive. Not so much in a flashy way, but in like a forceful way.
Okay.
Just natural affinity.
Well, maybe like hitting multiple targets, you know, like big effects, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we that would probably we could do like once per encounter, you can do an attack that affects an entire zone and everyone inside of it.
Okay. Yeah, I can
Okay.
do that.
Yeah, and since it's just once per encounter, it'll be a -1.
All right. I think with that, I'll have 3 refresh remaining, and I'll save those for fate points.
Nice. Chuck, you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm thinking taking an aspect called flow like water, kind of a
Flow like
bonus to my athletics, like so I can.
Nice. Yeah. Flow like water. I like the idea of like this older lady who's just like moves like Bruce Lee a little bit. I dig that.
Just letting you know, the entire game I'm gonna be calling you Grandma.
Nice.
It's fine, dude. I'm telling you, I wish we had recorded the Fiasco game I played 2 weeks ago. You would have lost it.
Oh yeah, you talking about that in the chat a little bit. It sounded crazy.
Oh, it was awesome. I won't lie. I felt like, except for the fact that I don't sound like a woman, I felt like I was channeling a female character really well.
Nice. That's something I have issue with.
But it was really wild. I mean, you're talking about a love triangle and a conspiracy to kill the king, and man, it was a ball.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to organize a Fiasco game in our other group. We got to get that.
I'm playing in 2 of them the next week or so. I'm playing in a Jedi one and then a Borderlands. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't really pay attention on. It's the same guy that's running them. His name is Jaren. I think it's Jaren D&D is what his Facebook name is.
Yeah. Okay. So this has been going on for a little bit. How about next? The next big thing to tackle is your stress tracks, which is kind of like your hit points and your health kind of deal. So you're gonna have only 2 in this case. It's gonna be physical and social stress. I think your character sheet that you printed out probably has something different. It probably has like mental. I think
it has physic and will.
Okay, so, yeah, you could just
never mind.
You could just cross out the will and just put whatever put social on there. But in your case, Baron, you could just write PHY and then underneath it SOC. And then after each one of those words, you're gonna have a number of bubbles, which are gonna represent your health. So let's see, both of those are gonna start at a minimum of 2 bubbles, right? That's what everyone gets, minimum. And then so your physical, that's adjusted by your endurance. So if you have a 1 or a 2 in endurance, you have 1 extra bubble. If you have a 3 or a 4 in endurance, you have 2 extra bubbles. All right. And it's the same thing for social, but that's affected by your presence.
I'm not sitting too bad.
All right. So you guys got that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would this work on as I know I'm jumping again, but as one of my aspects, could I have something that not necessarily that I have presence, but that I have a grandma presence every once in a while? Do you know what I mean by that? Kind of like my wisdom and my like grandma comes up and grabs you by the ear and
yeah. And you want an aspect that represents that? Is that what you're saying? That you want an aspect that represents that, or you want a stunt that changes your social because of that?
I was thinking an aspect.
Okay, yeah. Maybe like soul of a grandma kind of deal. So like you just can't like help yourself sometimes.
Channel the grandma.
Channel the grandma. Dig it. All right. So anyone have any questions about the stress boxes?
Quick question: does my endurance like anything to them, or not really?
Well, yeah. Like I said, your endurance affects your physical stress. So I think you said you have a 4 for endurance. So that means you have 4 physical stress bubbles. If you want more physical stress bubbles than that, you need to take a stunt, like tough as nails or something like that.
Well, I put my endurance on 3, so I'm just gonna mark the 3rd bubble.
No, you get 4 bubbles for three. 3 and 4 get 4 bubbles. So you're still good. You're still a hardy individual.
And
Yeah.
good question. What is extras for?
Extras on your sheet. That might be. I think those are special case rules. That the DM might have put down that are different than the regular Fate core rules. You know, because Fate's designed to be manipulated any way you want it. So they have a section like that.
I gotcha.
In your case, I
I
don't
hate
think
to
you're
bring
gonna
this up in here, but I never got any response from anybody else about that D&D or that Shadowrun game after I asked what they thought about it.
Oh, didn't you? I thought you made a group about that.
I did, and I asked what everybody thought about using that PDF, and nobody responded but you and Jose.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, nobody else. Oh, gotcha. I was
Yeah.
about to say, I know responded.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm being paranoid, but
That's usually a sign, yeah, that some of the people bit off more than they can chew. It happens.
well, and I hate to say this, sometimes your confidence as a DM affects how people view it too.
Oh,
You know, not everybody of them know, like you and Jaron, that I can pull shit out of my ass really well.
yeah. Yeah. Let me think. I think there's only one last thing that I think your character sheets will need, and that is your consequences, right? So this is kind of like the real like status of health for your character. Your stress tracks, that kind of determines how tired your character is, because at the end of a fight, any damage that's on your stress track gets erased, right? That's just kind of like physical exhaustion, that kind of deal in a fight. Consequences are actual physical wounds that take time to heal, and you're going to have 4 of these. All right, so you guys will each have a mild consequence, a moderate consequence, severe, and an extreme. Right now, the way these things work is whenever you take damage, right? You're let's say you guys have 4 physical stress bubbles. So let's say you get hit by someone's like tsunami attack kind of deal, and it deals 6 physical stress to you, right? Now, if you don't do anything that is more than your physical stress, so that would take you out. That would be that means that NPC would determine how you are removed from this fight. But your consequences, that you can basically use them to absorb some of that damage. So you can use they each have a different value. So mild has a 2, so that'll remove 2 stress from the attack. So that 6 goes down to a 4. So you just fill in the 4 bubble, and you take a mild consequence of I don't know, waterlogged maybe, and that'll stick with you till the end of the next scene, right? What's that? Moderate absorbs 4, right? And that will last until the end of the next. Well, this is a one shot, so anything more than moderate is going to last you till clear after the game's over, right? But just moderate kind of takes like a couple weeks to heal. Severe is 6, and that absorbs 6, and that takes a couple months to heal. And extreme is a permanent change to your character. That would be something like Zuko Scar, losing an arm, that kind of shit. And that absorbs 8. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And consequences are considered aspects, so they can be used against you in a fight. So, like, if you get the aspect, the severe consequence of, let's say, broken leg, right? In the fight, they can use that against you. They can tag it for free the first time and get a +2 to their attack against you because your leg is broken. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll kind of mess up your fighting style just a little bit. Yeah. And And I think that'll pretty much cover everything about your characters, sheets at least. Obviously, there might be some equipment type deals. I'm probably going to say that you have whatever might be reasonable for people like you to have. There are no guns, so don't try to get those. But yeah, you guys have any questions or anything like that? Anything you don't fully understand or anything you want me to go over?
Don't worry.
All right, cool. All right, if that's the case, we will reconvene with the others on a Facebook group. And with that, I'm going to get us off the air. So to everyone watching this later on, have a nice night or day, whatever time of the day it might be for you.